home. You have 30 days. If you don't love it, you can send it back. We'll still refund your money. The problem is it's going to be very difficult when the Type 2 coin comes out to go backwards and grab that Type 1, simply because the Type 1 is being snatched up everywhere that you can get your hands on it. And Mike can attest to that. All right, let's go into our This Day Only. This is kind of cool. So Mike, this sort of relates back to the story we just saw on the 10 coin set, doesn't it?
It's the same, it's out of the same group of coins.
Yeah.
So this is first 50 boxes. So you can see this is from the first 50 boxes, okay? So this is a Mint State 70 out of those first 50 boxes of the San Francisco. Now, it's a big enough deal, okay? It's a big enough deal to get the West Point Mint.
Yes.
We saw the Philadelphia Mint. We sold through a ton of those at $289. The San Franciscos are gone, but this just isn't any San Francisco. This is from the first 50 boxes, and it's certified and guaranteed as such. I've never been able to do this type of thing ever before. The first 50 boxes where we had the first pallet that rolled off the production line at San Francisco. Now, the problem with this is the same as, to some degree, the Philadelphia, but in this instance, it's even worse, okay? The grading percentages on this are horrific. They're just awful. Out of 20,000 coins, I think we have a bit over 2,000 of these coins available. And I still discounted it $30. I have the special San Francisco Bridge label in my exclusive red core that you see right there. I think I actually have 2,110 coins. And that's how difficult they were to get out of the 50,000 coins, in essence, or 25,000 coins, sorry. They were in the first 50 boxes. They just graded so poorly. Because what happened is the San Francisco Mint, they're not used to making Silver Eagles. And like at the West Point Mint, they're packaged by machines. They're very precise. The coins come nice. And even then, we're talking about, 30 or 40% 70s, even with never touched by human hands. But once you start getting humans involved in packaging these coins, then, all bets are off. So the key to this is not just that I have San Francisco Mint coins. As I looked on I was going on hsn.com, right?
Right.
Okay, I have the NGC San Francisco NGC sold out. This one sold out. All the S-Mints sold out because the S-Mints was the first emergency production and they disappeared. Right. They're gone. This is the story I told about a week ago, a couple days ago. I don't even remember. It's such a whirlwind. I called a friend of mine. I said, what's the price on San Francisco boxes? Because you have to have the complete sealed box. Okay, it has to be opened at the grading company because they don't bear a mint mark on it. Right. And he calls me back in an hour, and this guy has as many Silver Eagles as anybody on the planet. He says, there's no price. I go, what do you mean there's no price? He says, I can't find a box. I can't get a price on something that doesn't exist. And I said, well, there you have it. He says, I think people have them. Nobody's willing to sell them.
Wow.
And he says, it's not a price thing. I was going, here's my overbid on this. Okay, is where we do this. I'll give you 6. I'll give you 7. I'll give you 8. And they're like, it's not a money thing. We're just not selling. If they had coins, or they said, I'm sorry, I sold out completely and totally. So the S-Mints, because there's a tremendous shortage in the marketplace anyway. The S-Mints only represent 5 or 6% of the entire mintage.
Right. And wait, and Mike, explain, the entire mintage is truncated because of what's happened this year.
Oh, like I said, they're going to make maybe 15 or 20 million coins. Okay,
versus
they're going to make 15 or 20 million total. Right. Total. Classic design 2021 Type 1 American Silver Eagles. Right. That's probably 40 million coins short of what they could sell.
Wow.
Probably 40 million coins short. And of that, the San Francisco Mint coins represent about 5%, okay, at the most. And then this, of the San Francisco minted coins, this of the San Francisco minted coins represents 4% of that. So this represents 0.25% of the Silver Eagles when we talk about the first 50 boxes. And so what I've got it is certified. You have to understand, NGC, they don't put first 50 boxes on there unless that is absolutely, positively locked down, ironclad fact.
Well,
You have to understand
wait,
that.
and Mike, but Mike, explain how you figured that out. Because again, tell him what you did to find out that those were the first 50 boxes.
We bought basically 4 pallets of coins, okay?
Right.
And the one had a slightly different, lesser kind of sequence of numbers. And so we asked the Mint through Freedom of Information Act, in essence, what were the box numbers of the San Francisco Mint? And it was relatively easy to get because they're very open with that information. Here's the box numbers from when the first one that was made to the last one that was made. Well, the pallet that we had sitting there was the first 50 boxes.
That's so neat.
And so we have the very first one. Now, obviously, box 1, box 2, box 3. Box 1 is bringing silly money. I mean, that coin in 70 is probably, I mean, I just sold the set for $1,999. I think we just sold 10 or 12 of them at $1,999 for the first 10 boxes, all of them Mint State 70. That single first box, I would argue you could probably sell that for $500 or $1,000 by itself.
Okay.
First 50 boxes, so this is box basically 11 through 50. I mean, it's basically not hardly any premium at all, and I've taken $30 off for this day only. I think it's a spectacular opportunity to not only own a San Francisco minted coin, which has disappeared from the marketplace. So it's not just 2021 Silver Eagle, it's the emergency issue San Francisco coin. And it's not just emergency issue San Francisco coin, it's from the first 50 boxes, and not only from just the first 50 boxes, but from my custom red core with the San Francisco Bridge label.
Yeah, that's perfect.
Put all that together, take $30 off that, and is there any wonder that these are selling fairly well?
Yes, as a matter of fact. But I do want to explain it this day only in case you're brand new and you don't know what it is. It's very much like our Today's Special, although there's a lot less of these than we have of the Today's Special. If you want to pick it up, the price ends today. It will go up to the full price if I have any left, but I can guarantee you, because it's so limited, we just don't have a lot of these. You know, I wish Mike, like Blue Jeans, he could make 75,000. I'm sure he'd love to make 75,000 of these, but that's just not legal. That he'd go to jail for doing that.
More
it's
like
coins.
10,000.
Do what?
It might be the most limited coin Today's Special we've ever had.
You know what? I think you're right. Well, let me think about that. Well, I've only done 16 of them with you, 16 years. Yeah, I think you're right. What was the most limited one we did prior to today's?
Probably the New Year's Eve edition flag core 2 years ago with about 3,600 coins.
Right, got it. Right. Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, that's fun.
Almost 50% rarer than that.
Yeah, and I love, and again, remember, here's what's really cool about this, guys. The whole story has been so magnificent because of what happened last year with COVID. They had to shut down a couple of the mints, which, you know, they never do that. And then all of a sudden, they decided, you gotta remember, they were gonna release, just like we do every year, the brand new 2021 Eagle coin. And it was gonna be a different design. So from 2020, 2021, December 31st, we were all like, oh, this is gonna be huge. Then at the last minute, they come out and say, oh, by the way, we don't have time to do that one. We're gonna do the supplementary type 1 of the old design, and then we're gonna do later in the year a type 2. They've never done that before. So that's made the story that much grander, that much more fun, and quite frankly, that's much more rare and collectible. Now, if you're lucky enough to have the original 2020, then type 1 of 2021, and you get type 2 of 2021, that's an amazing trio to have. But if you don't have those, don't try to go backwards when that type 2